I'm going to start this vlog like this. I shouldn't have been here in the first place. There were no games. I should have just stayed home. Hey, I think I'm going to head up to the B to play. I'm out of content and I kind of need something to vlog for next week.
Okay, honey, good luck.
There are 0 5-10 games running.
Seriously, it's 4 p.m. Is it even worth it?
Well, there's definitely a lull before the WSOP starts where games are just dead. But no games is wild. I still think I'm going to head over there. One will start soon. Hopefully. Ends up that I was right. A game does start and fills up during my 25-minute drive down to the strip. I arrive first on the list, and I get a seat after waiting only about 20 minutes. Unfortunately for me, it's the 5 seat. And I hate vlogging from the 5 seat. But about an hour and a half later, I get an opportunity to move to the 7 seat, and I take it. I bought into this game for $2,000, but when the vlog starts, I've already added on another $400 due to Ace-King offsuit being Ace-King offsuit. Let's join the action here. I folded a lot this session. I mean, a whole lot. I've been in this game for about 2 hours and I think I've played 5 hands. Maybe. Card distribution wasn't really going my way. Pretty early on, after moving to the 7 seat, I looked on at 2 red 4s from early position. But before action reaches me, the under the gun player has opened to $30. I, desperate to play a hand, call next to act. The button joins, and so 3 of us see a flop of Ace 3 5 with 2 diamonds. The under the gun player, an older recreational man, leads out for $70. The pre-flop early position open coupled with that bet from him out of position means that he likely has an ace. I have a gut shot with a backdoor flush draw that I might not want to make. I call the $70 knowing that I'm 1 deuce away from making this player hate this dealer forever. The button comes along. The turn jack of clubs is followed by the under the gun player checking. Well, maybe he doesn't have an ace, or maybe he has a weak one. With the button behind me, trying to steal this pot might get tricky. I don't really bank on people folding to single bets in this game, so I'd have to fire twice. And I also don't bank on people that I don't know folding top pair, which is why it's profitable when I have top pair. I check, as does the button. The river pairs the jack and the under the gun player leads again, $150. I was likely right the first time. He has an ace. Both myself and the button find folds. In this next hand, I play my image more than I play my actual hand. Keep in mind, I'm getting dealt out of this game. My VPIP at this point is probably 7%, and I'm being generous. The hand begins with a pretty aggro player opening the $30. I've played 10-20 with him, but only a few times, and even from that small sample, I know that he's competent. I flat from the small blind with ace-deuce of clubs, and we go heads up to the flop. Ace of spades, 8 of spades, 5 of diamonds. I start with the check, and he continues for another $30. I have the absolute weakest top pair, and no backdoors against an aggro opponent. This isn't the best feeling in the world, but I call. The turn 7 of spades brings in the front door flush. I lead here for $50. Yes, I donk in this spot, leveraging a few things. 1, my VPIP screams that I'm tight. 2, I have more flushes and 2 pair in range than him. And 3, players in this game don't often donk when the flush hits without having it. If he has an ace with a spade, he's calling, but who cares because I beat no other aces anyway. If he has just a single spade, like king-queen offsuit, he no longer has the right price to call, although I'm losing out on possible money from calling him down through his turn and river bluffs. I'm fine with that. He thinks about my action for quite a while and frustratingly folds in a way that makes me think he probably had an ace. Honestly, there really isn't much going on in this game. I've been here hours now and I'm card dead. I had questions about even making the drive down here to play, and now I'm unhappy because I could be at home watching old CrossFit documentaries right now. If I'm going to do a mid-session update, I better do it now because I'm about to be done here. I know that I normally go outside for the mid-session update, but not today. Here's your update. My game is trash. It's absolute trash. So, that's that. So we all know what happens after you complain about your lack of cards, right? So I return to the table as it's my big blind. The same aggro player we just discussed opens from the hijack to $30, and I defend holding deuce 5 of spades. Heads up again. 8-7-3 with 2 spades. I check and he c-bets, choosing a size of the larger variety, $65. You don't see a ton of the larger c-bet sizes in this game, as it can sort of hamstring players on later straights, especially on a flop of this texture. I make a pretty easy call here, big size or not. The turn 4 spades brings in my flush. Knowing that we literally just played a hand where I represented a flush and donked versus him, I choose not to donk here, hoping that he will think that it means that I don't have a flush, because if I did, I've showed him that I would bet it. I check. The ruse doesn't work. He checks it back. I really just want a completely blank river. Unfortunately, the 6 of diamonds isn't that. It's a card that's so good for my range that I doubt I'll get paid anything. In hindsight, I probably should have bet super small here, but at game speed, I bet $90 and he folds before I'm even done. Less than an orbit later, I pick up another playable hand, opening ace-10 offsuit from the low jack to $30. 2 hands in 1 orbit? The gods have heard my cries. My open gets 2 callers, the hijack and the button. 3 ways we go to this flop. Ace-10-4 rainbow. Thank you, gods. I'll never say a hand is a lock, but I feel pretty good about this one. My goal now is just to try not to lose these other guys. I continue for $30 and pretty quickly, both of them call. The turn 6 of spades injects 0 fear. I size up a bit to $120, and although I lose the hijack, the button comes along. When the 4 of spades hits the river, I check. I could have probably continued for 1/3 pot again, but I've seen the button try to take these river pairs bottom card boards away before. I mean, odds are I'm not opening under the gun with many 4s in my hand. I was hoping he'd do it now because I wasn't folding. But he checks. I show and he quickly mucks. Him checking likely means he had a hand with some showdown value, so I might have lost some value on this one. Maybe. Slowly my card distribution was becoming more favorable. In this one, the under the gun player opens to $30 and I flat with 7-6 of hearts next to act. The button then finds the 3-bet, making it $150 to go. When the under the gun player calls, I'm now getting like 87-1 and find the call too. 3 ways. 9-8 deuce with 1 heart. I almost flop the thing, but I don't. The under the gun player checks, as do I, and unfortunately for me and my free turn card dreams, the button continues firing. Another $150. The under the gun player folds, but not only do I almost have a thing, the 9 of hearts gives me the potential to have a different backdoor thing. And the price is damn good to crack what is likely an overpair. I call the $150. Unfortunately, my card distribution isn't quite good enough yet, though, because when the deuce of diamonds appears, all I can do is check and fold to the button's $360 bet.
Come, come, dear children, gather ye close, for I do bear a tale most curious and bold.
Let me guess. It's them big booty hoes.
I beg thy pardon. What foul tongue didst thou loose?
I said, it's time for the show?
Aye, that it is. A new tale I bring thee, filled with peril and poise.
I hope it's about Jiggities. You know Jiggities are the 5th best hand. I
am jealous of all the people who haven't met you.
Now still thy prattle, boys. Let us commence. Our brave hero, bold of heart and sharp of mind, doth open the wagering from the cut-off, casting forth 30 gold into the pot. Straightway the small blind, curious, doth make the call. But ere the flop is dealt, the big blind, an impetuous rogue known for fire and fury, doth raise the stakes to a fearsome 180. Our hero, contemplating this rousing challenge, doth weigh the merits of a re-raise, yet holds his hand. For he feareth revealing too much strength to such a rash soul as might invest a fortune in folly. Thus with cautious valour he calls. The small blind, seeing storms ahead, doth fold and quit the field. To battle they go, 2 alone. The flop descendeth. Jack of spades, 5 of diamonds, deuce of spades. The big blind, swift and certain, thrusts forth another wager, 200 gold.
Oh, this could definitely be Jiggities.
Yet our hero, unfazed by such audacity or the presence of 2 lurking spades, calleth coolly. He cloaketh his strength in silence, his range as wide as yonder sea.
My father saith all men fear spades. Is this no longer the custom?
The turn cometh. 'Tis the 7 of hearts, a card of modest bearing. The big blind, not yet content, doth charge again, 650 in gold.
Yep, he has them. He most definitely has them.
Would that our hero fall? I tire of this tale and its smiling fool.
Yet our gallant, calm as the moon o'er still waters, doth pause. He readeth the signs, each breath, each twitch, each tremor.
Is it 650?
Then, with resolve steeled, he casteth all his treasure.
All in.
1,325 in gold into the fray. A bold all-in wager. The dealer doth count the coin, and the big blind, stubborn as ever, calleth. The dealer runneth the river once. The card is revealed. A cursed ace of spades.
Alas, spades! The black harbinger of doom!
Aye, young poker-faced Ash, 'tis not a welcome sight. Yet lo, when our hero revealeth his 2 noble queens, the big blind doth but sigh and cast his hand into the muck. The pot, by right and reason, is awarded to our hero, a victory most deserved.
I could have sworn that our hero was going to lose to Jiggities.
The people that tolerate you, they are the real heroes.
Very dangerous river.
What's that? Yeah, but it was, It was in at that point. Yeah, I didn't like the river. After the double up, I win another couple smallish hands that weren't important and aren't really worth talking about. But what is worth talking about, though, is how I'm now on a roll. Now the card distribution is going my way. Now I'm happier about the drive I made down to the strip on a random Monday. Now I'm Oh, God. With action folded to me on the button, I guess I gotta... Okay, fine. $30. The small blind folds, but when action reaches the big blind, he raises to $180. This was the only player at the table that was playing less hands than me earlier, and now he's 3-betting from the big blind. Yes, I could 4-bet here, but I could also just take my money and put it on a number on the roulette table. I'd probably get the same results. I just call the oversized 3-bet. Let's hope for the best. Queen 9-10 with 2 clubs. That's not the best, but it's not the worst either. I'm expecting a c-bet to come my way, but it doesn't. In some ways, that's scarier. I take the free card. The turn 6 of hearts shouldn't really interact with his 3-betting range a ton. He checked the flop, so he's going to bet now, right? Wrong. He doesn't. I don't either. The river pairs the queen, and now he bets $320. I'm a bit confused by the line. It's not ace-queen. It's not aces or kings or a flop set. What is this? Obviously, I could just fold, but there's still a fair share of hands I beat in this line, not to mention we could just have the same hand. I flick in the call, curiosity getting the best of me, and he shows me...
Jiggities, yes.
Oh, Lord. What I'm getting ready to show you is a travesty. In my 7 years of logging, I don't ever think I played a hand this badly. The under the gun player opens to $30, another competent reg. So we can assume that his range of hands is pretty narrow here, and I look down at the nuts from the low jack, the best hand in the business, and just fold. I fold. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just not feeling like hurting people's souls today, I guess. Everyone else folds, and so I don't have to deal with the emotional pain of seeing that I probably would have flopped trips. From under the gun, I look down at pocket sevens and open at $20. Action folds around to the button, who calls, in the small blind 3-bets to $120. This particular hand in this spot just folds a lot due to the small blind's 3-betting range versus my under the gun open being pretty narrow. In live play, it's most likely even narrower. However, I'm stubborn, and I have a red 7 on the left. I call. The button calls, and so there are 3 of us. The flop of ace-king 5 gets checked through. The turn jack of diamonds also gets checked through, and the backdoor flush completing 6 of diamonds sees the same lack of action. The small blind table's ace-4 suited, and internally I kick myself a bit for not just folding preflop, as the majority of live players really aren't 3-betting even close to light enough to warrant my call with 7s here. The cards are shuffled, and the action in the next hand begins with the hijack opening to $30, just as I'm looking down at pocket aces. I 3-bet to $150, and the hijack fiddles around with his chips for a while. I honestly thought a 4-bet was coming, and was a little disappointed when he just calls. I really couldn't ask for a better flop when 6 deuce 4 rainbow appears. My only real thought here is I need to stack his overpairs. Hands like tens and jacks that are never folding this flop. I do get a bit greedy by continuing for $180, but whatever he had, he didn't deem worthy of continuing past this point. If I'm being completely honest here, the only reason I came to Bellagio this night was to vlog. I needed something to edit. I really wasn't in the pokering mood. At this point in the session, I thought I probably had 4 or 5 hands captured, and that's good enough. But just in case, let's open Jack 5 of diamonds from the hijack and see if I can make something epic happen. I know, bad thought process, but I'm being honest. I get one caller, the small blind, and also the reggiest of the Bellagio regs, the one player in the entire player pool that never seems to not be there. I have a pretty good beat on his game, so him calling doesn't move me. King 3 deuce with 1 diamond. From the small blind he checks, and I continue for $30, or about half pot. Just enough to know that if he calls, I can shut it down unless I pick up some turn equity. He folds. I mentally note that this hand might go in the vlog, and then I begin wrapping it up for this session. Okay, when I got here, there were no games. One game started. One horrible looking game. At that point, I should have just left, but I didn't. I jump in and proceed to fold for hours upon hours upon hours until I finally managed to pick up a hand, win a sizable pot, turn around, pick up ace king offsuit, give away a lot of my profits, and then fold. There's not much to say about that session. We ended up this amount, but it's not even about being up this amount. It's about the session just being trash. I'm gonna try to create something out of this vlog of a session in which maybe 3 words were uttered the entire time I was here. So, Jaman, you gotta work your magic. Let's see if I did it. And if I did, you will see this vlog. And if not, you know, you'll see the next one. So if you like the vlog, leave me a comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.